We've been getting a lot of MCU news recently, which is really good, cause for a while, the Marvel news was dry. Today we have some Thor Love and Thunder news, but don't worry, there won't be any spoilers cause I haven't been able to watch the movie yet. We also have some news about Ant-Man 3 and the villains we'll see in the movie, and a small kind of vague tidbit about the Fantastic Four. First, it's been revealed by Charles Murphy over at Murphy's Multiverse that Zeus wasn't always on the table for Thor Love and Thunder. As revealed by artist Miles Teaves, it seems that Russell Crowe was originally going to play a completely different character. It seems Marvel had envisioned him as the devil or Satan at one point. Not just that, but Teaves also shared some artwork highlighting the design. Now this unfortunately isn't Mephisto, who we've been waiting to see appear in the MCU ever since WandaVision. It would have been the actual devil, as in Marvel are usually two completely different characters. In the comics, a couple characters have called themselves Satan, from Marduk Curios and later his son Damon Hellstrom. It of course is possible that this version of the devil was planned to be Mephisto, as Mephisto is sometimes called the devil as well, but from the concept art, it could have actually been a different character altogether, or at least a completely different impression of the characters we're used to. We got two different looks at the character from the concept art, and as you can see, the character looks more like what you may think of the devil, a red humanoid figure with horns and hairy goat feet. I do like that they ended up going the Zeus route with Russell Crowe instead, as it allows them to introduce Hercules and Ares later on, but I guess this could have been a cool idea too. It just depends on what they did with the character, like what role would he have played and what connection would he have had to Thor or Gore the God Butcher. Next, My Time to Shine Hello was asked about Modok's role in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and she said that the character has a very big role and is actually Kang the Conqueror's advisor and the second main villain in the movie. Like I've said before, it's really interesting and I'm extremely happy that we're still getting Modok, because initially, before all the stuff with Kang, Modok was going to be the main villain with Jim Carrey up for the role. Now I wonder who they'll cast to play the character, but having them both will be really interesting. And I'm excited to see how or if AIM will play a role, because if you remember, they were set up all the way back in Iron Man 3, and since then have been teased a few times, but nothing's ever been done with them, possibly until now. And lastly, Cinestealth, who's a relatively new scooper, making their debut on May 1st of this year, and has already leaked a ton of things that turned out to be true, including some stuff for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Miss Marvel, Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and even Agatha House of Harkness, was asked on Twitter what the chances of John Krasinski returning as Mr. Fantastic for the Earth 616 Fantastic Four was, and they said, "I really don't know, but I've consistently heard that they're casting younger, late 20s to mid 30s range. So take this as you will, since not all of their scoops have been 100% accurate, and they've also stated that they tweet about whatever they hear, which more than likely means that their info probably isn't verified by many sources. Now I know there are those who don't want Krasinski to return, and given the castings for the Human Torch and the Invisible Woman, which do fall into that late 20s and mid 30s range, Krasinski being 42 wouldn't really fit in. But at the same time, we can't immediately say whether he would be good or bad in the role, because he didn't have much to go off of in Multiverse of Madness. Those scenes, according to both him and Elizabeth Olsen, were filmed separately, so they never saw each other. And it seems very likely that the Illuminati were written in a way that made the Scarlet Witch look much better. With Reed being the smartest man in the universe, it doesn't make sense that he would tell Wanda everyone's weaknesses right off the bat. So we'll have to wait and see what happens and who actually gets cast when we get more news about the Fantastic Four, hopefully at SDCC or D23. But at the same time, fans have been wanting John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic for years, and Marvel Studios finally gave him to us in Doctor Strange 2. So why wouldn't they also give him to us for the Earth 616 Fantastic Four, when we've seen plenty of times that different characters can look the same in the main 616 timeline and others, like Loki for example. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about all this. Would you have liked to see the devil in Thor Love and Thunder, or are you glad that we got Zeus instead? What do you think of Modok being the second main villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, and what role do you think he'll really play? Would you like to see John Krasinski return as Mr. Fantastic in the Earth 616 Fantastic Four reboot, or should they get someone else that's maybe a bit younger? And if so, who would you like to see instead? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you will never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and remember to wash your hands and stay safe.